Now, if you follow me on social media, you will know today I had yet another visit from the FBI. The FBI came to my home today, this afternoon. What time did they come? They came around noon. They came pretty early. Kind of took me by surprise. So the FBI came to my house today. This is the thing. They were talking about, well, we wanted to ask you some questions about Frank James, Tariq. Frank James, y'all remember, that was the guy in New York who allegedly shot up the subway in New York. Remember? How many months ago was that? How many months ago was that?
Police have arrested Frank James. This is the guy accused of unleashing hell on a crowded subway yesterday morning, shooting 10 and injuring 23 in a flurry of gunfire and smoke bombs. The shooter called the police on himself as he calmly strolled around the city for 29 hours, even popping into a McDonald's. Just got a number 3. They took him into custody without a fight. Police have not yet released a motive, but here at Primetime, we've been doing some investigating and found some very disturbing videos on his social media pages where he's just spewing black nationalist ideology. Quote, "White people and black people, as we call ourselves, should not have any contact with each other." In another video, he said, "A factory reset on humanity is needed in order for you to have any thought of having a effing future. There are people, white people in this country, because I'm getting tired of you, and I'm black." He continued, quote, "I am so happy. I have a sense of joy. I've seen a side to human beings, and they need to die. They need to suffer and drop effing dead." He went on to celebrate the confirmation of Judge Ketanji Brown, but the fact that she was married to a white guy made him furious. Quote, "Yeah, our black sister, Supreme Court Justice, power to the people, is married to an effing white man. I don't believe this bleep." In one video, he can be seen outside screaming at unsuspecting people just walking down the street. Quote, "F you and your white ass too, you white racist mother effer. You're something less than human today. You shouldn't even exist. You're a crime against effing nature, you Spanish-speaking mother effer." For years, this freak was letting the world know his deepest, darkest thoughts. And big tech never flagged it. They consider themselves the speech police of what's right and wrong to post. Saying gender is real is considered hate speech online. But kill whitey is just fine? And of course, this guy, Frank James, has a long rap sheet.
His arrest history in New York is 9 prior arrests dating from 1992 to 1998. Those include possession of burglary tools 4 times, criminal sex act, theft of service 2 times. He was arrested on a New Jersey warrant. He also has a criminal tampering. He has 3 arrests in New Jersey, 1991, 1992, and 2007. They are for trespass, larceny, and disorderly conduct.
That arrest record, combined with the years of twisted videos, how was this guy not on the FBI's radar?
There has been some reports that FBI holdings to date had a tie to Mr. James. I want to be very clear that to date we have found no record of an investigation of Frank R. James by an FBI office before the shooting yesterday. Reports that FBI's New Mexico field office previously investigated him are inaccurate.
The FBI has been busy framing Trump and militia kidnappers, missing dangerous radicals just right under their nose. If you watch the mainstream media, you'd have no idea black nationalists even exist. As soon as the press realizes the attacks don't fit their narrative, they bury the story. Remember the Waukesha massacre, where Darrell Brooks rammed his SUV through a Christmas parade, injuring 62 and killing 6? Brooks also has a lengthy record and shared plenty of posts on social media calling for violence against white people, saying Hitler was right, and comparing cops to the Klan. We reached out to the FBI to see if they figured out what his motive was for plowing down innocent civilians. And the FBI referred us to local authorities who haven't gotten back to us. Last April, Noah Green rammed his car into two officers at the nation's capital, killing one of the officers. He was a follower of that outspoken anti-Semite Louis Farrakhan. And in Louisville, Quintez Brown, who was once honored by Barack Obama and made appearances on MSNBC, was arrested for trying to assassinate a Jewish mayoral candidate, Craig Greenberg. A local BLM chapter bailed him out soon after, posting 100 Gs. He supported armed militant groups online and talked about revolutionary communism and black nationalism. And these are far from isolated incidents. Corey Ali Muhammad, David Anderson, and Micah Xavier Johnson all had ties to black nationalism and all murdered many in their cities. The FBI failed to stop any of these people, and the media refuses to cover the story. To them, the only domestic terrorists wear red hats. Political correctness is putting lives in danger. The media is completely ignoring black nationalism. There's only room for white nationalism in their coverage because they need to keep the Democrat base scared and the country divided. The press is just a political chop shop. We know their motivation. But big tech is letting black nationalism spread across the internet. These CEOs need to answer why. If you can't get banned for posting a funny meme about Hillary, but you don't get knocked off for death threats, who's running your programs on the back end? Black nationalism is a serious threat, and our FBI just keeps dropping the ball. Why? The FBI director needs to answer questions under oath about this, because the Bureau's priorities are out of whack.
Let me show this real quick. This is them in front of my house looking very alt-rightish, by the way. I'm like, who the hell is this? All right, so that's them in front of my house. This was before I went outside, so they had one in the back. If you see ever look in your Ring camera and see somebody standing around like that, that's the feds, ladies and gentlemen. If you got one person at the door and another person backing them up, that is the feds. All right? So they came to the crib and they asked me some very interesting questions. Basically, this is the thing. They were talking about, well, we wanted to ask you some questions about Frank James, Tariq. Frank James, y'all remember, that was the guy in New York who allegedly shot up the subway in New York. Remember? How many months ago was that? How many months ago was that? They asked me, well, Mr. Nasheed, Frank James, are you familiar with him? He shot up, he did a mass shooting at a subway in New York. I said, yeah, I'm familiar with the story. And they were like, well, we saw online that he followed your social media about 10 years ago. He followed you on social media and he retweeted you 10 years ago. I said, okay, and there's a lot of people who follow me and retweet me. That's correct. We know you have a big following. And the agent said, did Mr. James ever try to reach out to you for anything? No, he didn't try to reach out to me. Now let's go back to 2016. Again, that's all cap. That's all cap. They basically wanted me to know that they got eyes on me. They wanted me to know that they got eyes on me. They did this. Remember in 2016, they came to my crib and they started asking me about Micah Johnson. Hey, are you familiar with Micah Johnson? Yeah, I'm familiar with him. Did you know him? Did he ever reach out to you? No, he never did. Are you a part of any nefarious organization? No, I'm not. Micah Johnson, has he ever emailed you? I said, good. If he emailed me, you guys would know it. You guys been monitoring my emails and phone calls for decades. They've been on my bumper for years. So they asked me, again, fast forwarding to today, they were asking me if I knew him. And let me tell you, this is the kicker right here. I said, yeah, he didn't reach out to me. I don't know anything about it. The white cop or the white agent said, did he reach out to any other FBAs? They asked me, did Frank James reach out to any other FBAs? He used the term FBA. No, he didn't reach out to any other FBAs that I know of. So they asked me, did this guy reach out to any other FBAs? And I reminded him, I said, by the way, you know it's a lineage, right? Yeah. We understand that. You understand? So they're just letting me know that they're watching, then they know. Yes, indeed. Yes, they did. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Yes, they did. They asked me, did he reach out to any other FBAs? No. And I had to remind them, no, you're not going to play that game. No, you're not going to try to make FBA a group. You know it's not a group. Stop it. And let's be clear, all of this stuff with people online trying to make FBA a group, those are the feds doing that. Those are the feds doing.
Here are my 2 cents. I have listened to a handful of Tariq's videos. I have never heard him say anything threatening / far rightish towards or specifically at white people, which is what Fox News wants to hold the FBI accountable for. Far right terrorism acts or discussions that are happening online pertaining to white people, which big tech, aka YouTube and Facebook, is not monitoring. However, the FBI isn't just investigating terrorism related to specifically white people. From reading an article, there is reasoning to believe that they are investigating hate that's directed at black women online, as well as black women being killed every 5 hours. The FBI is looking into domestic terrorism related to black women. Now, if that's the case, then Tariq has called black women bed wenches, which is the equivalent of the N-word, but specifically towards black women, he has done several videos related to black women dating outside their race and specifically dating white men. With that said, do I think Tariq should be investigated for online hate speech directed at black women? Yes. He has a large audience, and YouTube should not only demonetize those videos, they should actually remove those videos because it incites hatred towards black women and black girls. And we're seeing a very huge rise in black women not only being killed every 5 hours, but there is a lot of hate with these podcasts that is being spewed online, and he should be investigated. Get in the comment section. Thanks for watching.